again or what? Did I have a fracture? I don't know what the deal is. So that's what sometimes like I've lost my luster to do the politics. I'd rather do archaeology videos and then go eat food at exotic locations and not do politics. I just can't stand it anymore. You guys know what I'm talking about. Can you stand politics? Makes me sick every day. Every time I come in and it's like Trump this and Democrats that and Republicans this and hitting some kitten with a wiffle ball bat. I don't know. It's just so blasé. There's very little.
Somehow I have 4,000 jewels.
Well, give them to me.
I'm gonna, but it just popped up and said you have enough jewels for a gift.
Really?
And I went to it and it's got 4,000 jewels.
Just to get the ball rolling.
How though?
I have no idea.
4,000?
I should check and see if I have some. I'll give them to you. Anyway, so yeah, so the news is going on. We've seen it quite a bit. There's still somewhat to talk about, but it's so stupid in every absolute way. I've prided myself. I've really just lost the ability to care. I want to care about politics, but it's all so freaking stupid. Every single bit of it. I feign interest as if it's good. It's not. None of the politicians are good. Nothing will ever change. And I know we got to keep a positive footing, right? Keep a positive footing. Woo! One of those things. Let's get jacked up, baby. Yeah, you and me. Let's fisticuffs, right? Democrats and Republicans, right? Dogs and cats living together. Yeah, let's get it going. But I just... The power escapes me after the Epstein files and all this type of thing. The desire escapes me. And what's up, America? How you doing, Jennifer? I don't want to throw my support. Thank you. Of course it's a baby monkey. It's hugging. It's like, of course, I don't want to support Democrats or Republicans. But you want me to, and you're getting more violent about the fact. If I vote, if I say let's go Republican, then I get lambasted. But if I say let's go liberal, then it's socialism, but it's never good enough. It's always, I don't understand. I don't understand why. What's up, Liquid? It became this way. I mean, it shouldn't be this hard. Most of these people shouldn't even know who you voted for. So why is it like, hi, my name is Tom, I'm a Capricorn, voted for Trump. Ew! Hi, my name is Jennifer, Aquarius, I'm a Kamala Harris. Oh! Like, is that supposed to, like, get me off somehow? Is that what it is? Am I supposed to really jumping jack for joy and care that you voted for this, that, or the other? I could care less who you voted for. I don't care if you voted for a floppy turd head. But it's always been like this, at least for the last 10 years. No, I have not. I got a bottle here. I should, though. It'd probably make for good content. Do a whole just fart session. So how long have we been doing the Trump thing? How long have we been doing the other bull crap? We've been doing Trump for what, 10 years? We've been doing the other New World Order crap for what, 25? Doesn't all this suck? All of it? Isn't it just a bunch of gas bag ass diarrhea? I mean, I really want to find a silver lining here. I don't. I have no prospects for the political future whatsoever in any way, shape, or form. I already know coming up in November, we're going to get 2 years of lawsuits, basically, followed by, oh, it's been great, except for the infrastructure of our city's diarrhea. But it's been pretty good today. And I just say, like, I have the news here, and all of it is feces. All of it. It's all totally not even irrelevant. It's not irrelevant because it'll cost us money. It'll cost us a great deal of shit. Hell yeah, my dudes. So let's get into the news real quick before I go on a 4-minute tirade. Not anymore. So we'll talk about the news. I hope you are okay with this. It's kind of one of those days. The United States has initiated a naval blockade of Iranian ports with warships patrolling near the Straits of Hormuz. I don't really care about this. I want to be able to afford gas. And I want to be able to buy food and have rent at half price. That's more relevant. What's up, Meep? Nevertheless. What? What? Oh, what's up, a turtle? Hell yes, I love turtles. What's up, Nana? Oh, thank you. Who gave that?
I did.
Oh, thank you, turtle.
I looked it up and it said that YouTube does that from time to time. Just
Really?
as a what they call it,
A gift?
trial type deal.
Oh.
Try giving gifts.
Okay.
I think it would be 4,000.
That's pretty good. I like that. All right, so anyway, let's get into the news of the day. What's up, Scotland? Forever. David Tennant is the king. Absolutely. He's the best doctor, and we all know that. Anyway, the U.S. has initiated a naval blockade of the Iranian ports with warships patrolling near the Straits of Hormuz, a critical choke point for global shipping. The move aims to pressure Iran economically by cutting off its oil revenue following the collapse of recent peace talks in Islamabad with the United States delegation. President Donald Trump has stated that the blockade seeks to force Tehran to accept a deal, making the war, which has lasted 6 weeks, more than 6 weeks, and open the straits. Fuck! Fuck! See, you can sneeze more than 3 times. What? Oh, yeah, thank you. Sorry about that. Can't say the F word too many times. It is YouTube. Anyway, President Donald Trump said the blockade's supposed to force... thank you for the bee. Thank you, Nana. Oh, I love the animals. That's good. See, YouTubes are so much better than fart talks. I hate TikTok. However, Donald Trump has indicated a second round of U.S.-Iran talks could occur within days, mediated by Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, and Turkey. That's wonderful. Price of meat has not gone down. Nor is my rent. Thank you, my friend. Everybody, hell yeah, thank you for the cat. So I'm waiting for rent prices to come down, vehicle prices, gas, food, water, meat, insurance, blah, yak. I'm waiting for all those prices to come down. We're going to have peace talks with Iran. That's wonderful. I am so happy about that. When is my damn prices for hamburger going to come down? See, I can barely stop myself. I say F every other word. So, is that going to happen? What's up, Toronto? I love Canada. I hate Toronto. Not going to lie. Canada is a great country. I love Niagara Falls. I love Mississauga. I love Vancouver. Windsor is okay. Toronto, it's like an 8-year-old built the city. I'm sorry. I just have to say that. Been there twice. Both poor experiences, in my opinion. All relating to traffic. All relating to traffic. That mall you got there downtown, huge. Great bookstore. Love every bit of it. Food court's fantastic. You know the mall where the subway goes right to it? Mwah, exquisite. But the traffic? No thanks. What's up, Buffalo? Welcome to Buffalo. Yeah, I like Buffalo. I've been to Buffalo. I've been there a bunch of times. You guys got some good weed up there. Same with Canada. Anyway, Iran has defied the blockade with oil tankers, including one instructed by the IRGC passing through the straits via alternative routes. Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad blamed the U.S., not going to matter, it'll be blown up at some point, for maximalist positions in failed talks. I'm fucking pissed. I'm not mad at you. Oh, what? Why? What's happening? Hey, no, to be fair, Vancouver is a fantastic city, except for the heroin addicts. Oh, yeah, I know. That's the thing. So if for some reason it doesn't go up very high, I'll just start saying F every 5 seconds because I don't care anymore. International relations reaction. China has strongly warned against interference with the vessels, stating that the Straits of Hormuz is open to us and calling the blockade dangerous. Saudi Arabia urged the United States to end the blockade, which is funny because they're our allies in this, and ship owners have expressed concerns over risk to global shipping and potential impact on oil prices.
I know it's the chair, but it's
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I need a new chair. Yeah, the oil prices are absolutely sickening, and obviously that's coming from the Straits of Hormuz situation. We have not, so it's been a global increase in prices, and it's exacerbated by several things. This is just the latest of this. So this initially started, well, let me just give you a breakdown of my situation. So in America, this started in 2001 with 9/11. Then you had some leeway until the financial crisis, which, by the way, was the same year I graduated from college. So that's fantastic. Then, starting to recover, get your work on, do all that shit. Well, then you had COVID. And so I dealt with that. Then you had scandal and, of course, theft from the Bush administration. Then you had the failures of Obama and the not caring about the American people. The world loved him, but America didn't get much better. Then you had Trump, Biden, Trump. And it's never really gone back. Except New York. Nothing's ever really been a very pleasant experience for me the entire life. I've had like my wife, she's hot as fuck, and I love her, and of course my kids. Outside of that, it's been a very tough life. You see, it's been a very tough life. Every time I went through the hoops to gain, got my degree, worked hard, applied for shitloads of jobs, did everything you're supposed to do, and what happened? Every single time I would do something, there was a goddamn global crisis of some sort. Financial crisis, damn right, Nana. Financial crisis, health crisis, a war crisis. It's never been easy for me. Ever. Wear some Ray-Bans. Fuck you. What the fuck does that even mean?
retard.
I don't know. Do you have brain damage or something? I mean, I don't know what it is. Let's see. Wear Ray-Bans. What? Because do I do this?
I just said, where are some Ray-Bans?
Oh, I don't know. That guy was a douchebag. And so, that's been the entire experience of my life. So, I'm supposed to go through life not giving a shit that at every behest of gain has been removed from me and my life and others through an external force that was beyond our capacity or control. And then you have people that either, hell yeah, my friend, then you have people that either blame you for being a victim of that or pretend you don't exist. So don't worry that the cost of houses is double, just work harder. Don't worry that the cost of food is double, work harder. The argument of working harder stops at some point. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, no shit. No shit. That's what they do too. And so if you keep telling somebody, well, I work 40 hours a week, we'll work harder. All right, 50 hours. Well, you can still work harder. 60 hours, work harder. All right, at what point is life being lived? I guess that's what I'm trying to get to. At what point is life being lived? So if you work 70 hours a week, well, you're blocked, fuckface. So if you work 70 hours a week and you have no life, all you do is sleep, work, eat, shit. Sleep, work, eat, shit. That's all you do? Well, then at some point, you pretend that that's what it's supposed to be. You pretend, well, I worked 70 hours this week. I'm big stuff. But you're not, though. You just wasted your life and you traded the best essence of your years for money on things that will be left aside when you die. Yeah, I'm employed, asshole. And the thing is that lack of sympathy, or empathy, I should say, because I don't need sympathy from anybody. The lack of empathy is why I am not happy with Republicans. I already am not happy with liberals. We all know that. But Republicans are fucking assholes. I'm going to be very clear here. As soon as I started saying on TikTok that the Republicans were going to lose the midterm elections, oh my God, what a bunch of dicks. Both parties are terrible, but Republicans, you only work 80 hours a week? Huh, pussy. It's like, why do you want to do that with your life? What is wrong with you? Why do you want to work? Well, I'm a man. I work 80 hours a week. So let me guess, you're a man. You never see your wife go on vacation, hang out with your kids? Well, I'm providing for them. And you're not there. You're at work. That's all you do. So what kind of life are you living? Well, I'm working at what, the foundry? What, it's a family? Get out of here with that family crap. Soon as you get a coronary, they replace you in 20 seconds. They don't care if you've been working there for 30 years and you know it. Soon as somebody gets, well, okay, Mr. Peterson, we'll have 2 days of mourning, then back to the grind. And then you want me, oh yeah, you made a comment about me sucking or being lazy. That's it. So I'm going to change my attitude because you attacked me and made up crap when you don't even know me. I get it. So this is why I can't stand the politics anymore. The derangement, everybody has some pithy horse shit to say. This is why I've given up practically. You know, I want to go to the store. Yeah, you would want to go to the store, wouldn't you? Fatty! Yeah, it's like, what in the hell? Why are you all so miserable? Right? Why are you all so miserable? You're miserable enough to get help. Good Lord. And I know it's social media, but people are worse than they've ever been. The behavior of people is worse than they've ever been. You're deranged, angry, mean. You won't confront somebody in public. You have to do it behind a keyboard because you're a vagina, clearly. And then you want to have some validity as if you matter. And a lot of times they say, well, no, what you need to do when they do that, just say you're being disrespectful and be quiet. That shows power over them. Yeah, I've read all that psychological crap. That doesn't work because they don't have a soul. You have to understand. There's a lot of people, again, on Facebook again, keyboard work. Yeah, of course. And that's all it is. That's why we're here on YouTube, because YouTube differentiates the keyboard warriors. They know what it is. But the problem is, and I've heard Megyn Kelly say it, I've heard other people say it that are on the right over there. The reason Donald Trump is losing people is because no one cares about the people. There's not any other way to say it. And it's not like, oh, dropping the ball. You were elected under the guise of lowering prices and having peace through strength with no conflict, closing the border, everything. You haven't kicked out the illegals. Prices are higher than ever. And we're involved in multiple, hell yeah, thank you, foreign wars. So, what are we doing here? Well, the Iran one, I understand slightly because they were murdering a bunch of innocent people. But you can't tell me Israel didn't push you into that, did you? Did it? Nevertheless, this has not worked out. What's up, BG? Yeah, with the golden shit. Now, I'm not saying that there's not a potential. Everything looks good on paper. All right? So if I write a list down like I do with my government that I've read to you 50 times, and I say, well, deporting all the illegals and no foreign conflicts, and we're going to force come, all on paper, it all looks fine. It all looks wonderful. But then when it comes to practice, and you have the Epstein files, and you have the people ingrained in the corruption and the lobbyists and the satanic crap that's in the government and celebrity class, that's not moving because they don't want it to move. Right? I understand the wheels of justice grind slowly, but nobody wants to do anything. They want it to be diarrhea because if it's bad, it's easy to control pissed off masses. Well, okay. How do you stop the masses? What's up, SJF? How do you stop the masses from being mad? You give them money. What are they not going to do? Give you money. Why aren't they going to give you money? Because if you have money, you won't work. If you work 20 hours a week, that's not going to make them the wampum they want. So you have to work a minimum of 40 hours a week. That's why they invented the 40-hour work week. That came from either the Rothschilds or the Rockefellers. I can't remember which. And they determined that 40 hours was enough to make... Thank you, Nana. Yeah. They determined that 40 hours was enough to make you profit and not make someone go crazy. If you average 50 hours, I like it, Hugs. If you average 50 hours a week, you'll start to slowly go crazy. If you average 30, it doesn't make them enough profit. 40 was the sweet spot. So you get enough sleep, but not enough to enjoy your life or go on vacation, enough to rest to work. Now, the reason I'm talking about work mainly right now before I get into the news is because you are going to go through an AI transformation that will make most of your jobs. What's up, Yang? You guys are going to go through an AI transformation in the next couple of years. It's going to make most of your jobs irrelevant unless you're homesteading at your house or unless you're living off the land. What's up, Woodsman? On that, doing that type of thing, you're going to be losing your job. Thank you, Honda. You say, well, no, my job, it'll never be removed. It will. I'm telling you it will. I don't give a shit what your job is. If you're a roofer, if you do tile work, if you're a carpenter, right? The AI is going to take your job. Well, you mean the AI? No, a robot is going to take your job. It's going to be ran by AI tools and quantum computing, right? That's what it's going to be. So you're going to have quantum computing, which is already a thing, fed into AI data centers, which are the digital lords of your area, ran by certain companies and people. Those digital systems are going to run the robotics that take your jobs. You see how that is? It'll take a live stream too. That's correct. There's already, 2,500 AI podcasts. So what they're going to do is they're going to take my likeness just with everybody else and they're going to replace it with their bull crap and you won't get paid for it. But there I'll be. He said he was acting like a doctor. I saw that. I don't know, man. Is that a doctor or is that like delusions of grandeur? You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to make of that. It didn't bother me though because I don't get offended. Some people were on these live streams and they're like, oh, Trump's background, that was so offensive. I'm like, come here, dude, we can play. Dude, Roblox actually sounds quite better than politics. I'll tell you what, my kids both play Roblox. I still have a Minecraft account and all that shit with them. Who doesn't love fucking, you know what I mean? I say it too much. Oh, what's up, a Corgi? Who gave that?
Me.
Thank you, baby. I love you. So,
I still have $1,500.
really? Damn, okay.
They gave me the free one.
Oh. So, did they? Oh, thanks. Well, if they gave me free coins, I don't know yet. Thank you, Marie. Yeah. Then I'm going to have to go into somebody's stream that's on here and do the same thing. Because that's how you work. That's how it does. So after the stream, you raid their stream, and then you all gift that person. Right? Thank you, Dana. Hell yeah. I mean, isn't that how it's supposed to go? I love the husky. So my whole thing is, I know for a fact that all of you want to return to the way it was, but you don't. Thank you, BG. But you don't want to return to the way it was. So you want a pre-9/11 world with modern technology, but the opportunity to go analog, with the ability to have politicians that listen to you. That's what you want. You like this world, but you don't like AI. You don't, and you know it's coming. You know the fisting is coming. You know you're going to get back shots for the next 25 years with AI and the data centers. You know it's never going back. We know that. And the original plan was to have robots doing delivery and walking around and being companions and doctors and nurses. That was the original plan. What we're actually going to get is AI taking your jobs, the government offering no alternative except poverty, and then mining you for data, and then attempting to geofence you with universal basic income is what they want to do. You say, well, what does that do? Well, that restricts travel because you'll be beholden to the government. There's a lot of weird things they want to do. None of them good for you. Thank you, F, in the chat. Yeah, BG. None of them are good for you. They don't give you, they give you a life of servitude, which is like we've been talking for the last couple of days of technocratic neo-feudalism. That's what you're going into. And it's ramping up faster and faster. And so they're saying that they would never take the jobs of truck drivers. Well, there's automated trucks now on some parts of the road. They're never going to take the jobs of carpenters. They have that. They have robots welding rebar in skyscrapers in China right now. These things are starting to become a reality, and you have to prepare for those things. Living in a world, this is why I was talking about 60 hours a week. You think you're a big man. Wonderful. When an AI starts doing your job, it's going to suck. And the identity of the person will fall away because there is no backing other than work. And people are so much more than that, but we're not being allowed to reach our full potential. People were ready to work. I will say, like a lot of people, like I keep hearing people say, well, we need to go back to the 1950s. And then you'll have liberals say, what, like the racism? And it's like, no, the economic way it ran. Not the racism. That's not, I don't understand why people like do that first. If I say I want it like it was in the 80s or the 90s, which was a good time, the first thing some sides politically will say is, oh, what with the racism? And I'm like, no one was saying, like, you're the only one saying that, you fucking Debbie Downer, not you. We want to get fucking the fundamental drive of those people. So think about the past. The fundamental drive of the people from 1985 without the coke. That fundamental drive where they weren't medically fucked up on everything, every drug but roller skates, not sprayed from God knows what, and have fucking brain fog and all these other issues. Back when people could still critically think, people still had a direction of what they wanted to go. Greed had not permeated every facet of society, only the average facets of society that we all know and love, right? Like, you know, lawyers and bankers, they're always greedy. Same with the stock market. Wonderful. But now everything is the way it is. So how can we capture that essence where you apply for a job and only 20 other people applied for a job? Did you know right now, when you apply for a job, on average, 310 other people have applied for that job? Do you know what I'm talking about? In 2018, it was one person got for every 100 applications, or one job for every 100. Now it's 2026, and it's one job for every 310. So it's increased 3.1 times. So what that tells you is there's desperate people applying for everything and no way to hire them. This is already becoming apparent on top of the ghost jobs and all that other stuff. And so when you add this in, it shows a desperation for the proletariat, not seen since the Great Depression. But nobody's going to do anything about it. Because according to the Democrats, thank you, Chameleon. Thank you, my friend. Because according to the Democrats, it's all the billionaires' fault. And according to the Republicans, if you give the billionaires more money, everybody will win. And neither of them are right, really. So, like, you need to tax the billionaires at approximately 4 to 6 more percent. But if you give that money to the government, they will blow it and waste it on shit. Hell yeah, Brad. And you already know that's the case, right? You already know that. So, like, so here's the metrics we have to play with. The top 3,000 wage earners in America own 94% of the money. That includes the stock market. So that means 330 million Americans, average, live with approximately 6 to 8% of the money available. The rest is tied into the very wealthy in some way you don't have access to, through company assets, through stocks, through general wealth, any of that, right? So that is 90 to 94% of the money that the super wealthy have that you won't have access to ever. Now, why is that a problem? Because that means that 330 million people are living with 10%, while 3,000 people are living with 90 or more percent. When that number should be the opposite way. It should be the 3,000 people have 10% of the money, and the 330 million share the rest of the spoils these fuck faces have. But that'll never happen. Now, the wealthy state that the reason they deserve that money is because they're the ones that are the producers. That's fantastic. That's a wonderful argument. Well, the wealthy produce. They produce jobs. Okay, but you're not producing American jobs. You took your billion-dollar factories and put them in Mexico and China and Vietnam and Bangladesh, and you hired those people. Then you say you're a job producer. Yeah, you're a job producer, all right. You're based in America producing jobs for the third world. So I don't have any respect for you, because the reason you have money is because that was our pensions and retirement plan and 401k. That was our money. That was our money, and you stole it. Well, no, I produced. No, you stole it. You found the cheapest way to make the most profit, outsourced your crap. The reason, I'm not live on TikTok anymore, just here. The reason you have, well, like the rich are the richest they've ever been. Yes, because they've stolen more money from your pensions and your hard work that you would have done. Your future. So when you grew up and you went to college like I did, you got your degree like I did, and you're like, I'm going to find a good job. Well, when you were looking, the billionaires were sending your jobs overseas. See how that works? Thank you. And so you were, that pension, that house, that vacation you were supposed to have, that went to some billionaire's pockets. Yeah, it's cheaper, But it's amoral, or it's immoral, to take that away from the population that serves you. So we all know the Americans are the ones that have the money. So you will take your factory over to China, buy a product or make a product, and then jack it up 10 times and sell it to us. And say, oh, we need that diarrhea. No, if we would have hired American, the costs would have gone up. Yes, but arguably if you would have hired American, because of the centralization of resources, even our dollar probably would have been more valuable. So it would have been able to go further. Prices on average would have been down because of domestic logistics. We could still get a lot of our stuff overseas. I don't have a problem with international trade whatsoever or mercantilism. What I do have a problem with is stealing I'm not Matthew. I'm only here on, I do live streams here. I do videos over there. The gain that your generation, my generation, your generation, millennials, Gen Z, that swath of prosperity was stolen from you by the billionaires and sent overseas. But the people overseas aren't getting your money. They're barely making a wage too, but it's better than they were getting. The billionaires stole your pension. They stole your future. Watch your futures end. And that's what they want to do with AI. They don't want to pay you at all. They hate you. You're a plebe. You're a parasite. You are a problem for them. You get in the way of their gain in value. Therefore, it is time for you to get out. I swear for every resource dug up and sold America, every citizen should get. Damn straight, Woodsman. That's right. That's the commodity based. And that's a good addition. I like that. That commodity based, we'd have enough money if we got rid of the Federal Reserve and put it on a commodity based central bank. That's damn straight. So I just want to I want to say that this system is not capitalism. It's not socialism. It's a technocratic feudalism that's only there to use you as human capital, right? You're not a person to these people. You're not a person to the billionaire. You're a human capital. They believe they're smarter than you because they know how to make money as an idiot savant. So if you say, well, I'm a concert violinist and I'm one of the best in the world, they'll say, that's nothing compared to my $1 billion. I can buy you. You say, well, I would say that the concert violinist has more value than the billionaire by leaps and bounds. I would say the concert violinist has more skill, even if you have $100 billion. The concert violinist is more skilled than that piece of shit ever will be. Okay? And it's the same with a neurologist. Well, I'm a neurologist. I make $400,000 a year. I run a company. I'm worth billions. Well, the neurologist is better than you. You don't deserve that. How much money are you? I say up to $10 billion, and then we start taxing you as a maximum amount. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. At some point, you're taking away from the rest of society. Because you're not investing in the United States. TikTok and can't because you aren't following me back. What was it? What was it? Yeah, they inherited. And the thing is, they act entitled. But I already know full well, if you take the money from the rich, it will not go where it's supposed to go. So let's say you took 6% more from the rich and the government used it. They'd say, we're going to use this to build houses for the homeless. And they would spin you a yarn like you can't imagine. Soon as their little dingy fingers get their hands on that money, All of a sudden, they're buying Tomahawk missiles. They're getting an aircraft carrier. They're not using it for roads and investments. They are using it to, every other thing. They're sending it for trans surgery in Guatemala. They're buying bombs with it. It's a shit show. And you say, well, I don't want to take from the billionaires because I don't want to give it to you because you will misappropriate it. Not one homeless person will ever receive a dime of that money and better their lives. Not the middle class will not go up. Small business will not come back. Instead of what was I going to say? I can't remember.
You're talking about them taking the money and
Yeah, but
spending it on this instead of,
no, I'm not that high. I had a point like 3 points down and I forgot.
because you were talking about taking 6% extra from your end.
Oh, well, okay, thank you. So yes, if you take that money from the super billionaires,
As soon as they get their dingy hands on it.
as soon as they get their dingy hands on it, they're going to misappropriate the money. This is why Republicans say we shouldn't take the money from the billionaires. One, they protect the billionaires, but two, they already know that the government will misappropriate every single dime of that. No dual citizenship. Yeah, that should be absolutely. Absolutely. That's a definite provision. I still think that they shouldn't be able to do trading of any kind, buy, sell, or trade stocks whatsoever. If the Straits of Hormuz is blocked, how are the stimulus checks going to get through? See, that's what I've been saying. That's another thing that bothers me. We've been told of 3 separate stimulus checks coming from Donald Trump, and we are sitting here April 14th, 2026. By the beginning of summer, we were supposed to get a stimulus check. So what is that? 2 months from now or less? June. So about 2 months from now, we're supposed to get a stimulus check, according to the first time Donald Trump said something about it. And account on TikTok to printing to him. Oh, yeah, I report those accounts, and guess what? Yeah, send it to me, but I report those accounts.
Send it to you, 'cause you're not-
I'll find you. But I report those accounts, and TikTok doesn't do a thing anymore. They are garbage. So we are not getting a stimulus check. We're not getting a Doge check. We are not getting a refund of any kind whatsoever. The tax refunds, we got an okay one. But a lot of people are saying, you like that tax refund? And it's only mediocre. Now, how do I say this? The objectives of Donald Trump were very noble. But you're pissing on my leg and you're telling me it's raining. And I don't enjoy that. You tell me America's the hottest nation in the world, while the world is trying to distance itself from the United States except through force. You tell me, and it's not like a homage to Obama or Biden. Fuck them, right? You tell me that prices are coming down, and you keep referencing the egg prices, which you got back to regular price by buying 30 million eggs from Turkey to stabilize the prices. But every other marker shows me that you are not interested in affordability because you think affordability is a Democrat hoax. When in real life, never mind the gas prices. What's up, Virginia? We all knew that was a consequence of the Iranian war because of the price gouging from oil speculation. It's not hard to see that. Everybody knew what this was. We knew for a fact, as soon as Iran comes in, blowing up oil fields, prices are going to soar. It was no big shock at $4 a gallon. Thank you, me. Oh, you were so hot, I want to bang your brains out. And I'm gonna. And so we knew it was going to be high gas prices. You have to understand something. on the empty oil tankers. Now that's going to be sold. Those are going to be filled up and sold, but I don't know where the money's going to end up. If they pay down the debt, I'm going to fucking choke something. I swear to God. And not my chicken. Sorry. But it's like, look, the reason it's imperative under Donald Trump with affordability is because of the fact that we already had 4 years of inaffordability or unaffordability, whatever, with Joe Biden. And now that that's over with, and we're supposed to pretend that that didn't happen, by the way. Under Joe Biden, prices went rocketing through the sky. They've never come back down. Well, Donald Trump, well, you know, it's still up that high. We have a problem here. And that's the thing. The debt cannot be repaid. And also, it doesn't matter because when we pay the Federal Reserve, the interest, they just put that interest money back into the Treasury. So even the debt's a fake Ponzi scheme. That just is how much we've accrued, which it doesn't even matter. We can write it off, and they use it as an excuse, as a crisis. Always. And so it's just like something's got to be done differently here. Basically, what I'm saying is the middle class and down needs a major injection of capital at the human level and at the small business level. We don't want to be quantitative easing or bailing out our large companies anymore. You can absorb the failure. It was all done backwards. On what? I'm not exactly sure what to make of that. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what to make of the 121 oil tankers. I mean, I know what they're doing. My whole thing is like, whose oil is that going in those tankers? Is it ours or is it Venezuela? Who is it going to? There's a lot of variabilities here. How about stop giving Israel another? Even that, it's not enough to make up the difference. It would only increase our bottom line by about $200 billion. I mean, it would help, but we need like the bottom 60% of people in America need about a $3 trillion injection. And that's something they simply don't want to do, even though the ultra wealthy, the top 3,000 people have, I think it was 90 trillion? No, 30 trillion. I'm sorry. I was thinking 90 billion on something else. I got transposed because of the brain damage. So $30 trillion. There's really no such thing as trickle down. Yeah, of course. So the billionaires have $30 trillion. If you say I need to inject $3 to $4 trillion into the lower 50% of America, they will fight to the death because that would take 6 to 8 or whatever percent of their money away. You see, that's unacceptable to them because in the mentality of a billionaire like that, you're either gaining or you're losing. If you plateau, that's losing. It's always more, more, more. That's what Dave Chappelle and Joe Rogan were talking about one time. And they were saying, well, they were at a party and the guy was headed to a party that they knew. And he was like, well, he had already banged 2 women that day and been drunk. And he was heading to a party so he could bang more women and get drunk and drive another car. And this guy was a billionaire and he drove like a different car every party. And like Dave Chappelle was like, well, when is it enough, man? That's what he asked him. And the guy told him, he goes, what? He goes, there's still some out there. So he didn't look at the mentality of, I'm full, I've had enough, moderation. He looked at the mentality of, I must live in excess or I fail. And that's the mentality of that. And it's the same with demon possession. I just heard a priest talk about this. That the demons, if they don't want you to live in moderation because that shows virtue. They want you to live in either total asceticism or total excess. Meaning I have nothing and I'm basically beating myself up in order to gain piety, which doesn't happen, or I'm living totally debaucherous lifestyle, and that's what I'm known for. And so the demons operate the same way the billionaires operate. Total asceticism for the poor, total luxury of hard life for the rich. No in between. So what's that mean? That means the virtue area, virtue signaling, that means the virtuous area fails, which is the entire population or the most of the population. So what happens to a population that has been neglected on financial or something? You got to understand that the older people mostly own homes. The millennials don't mostly own homes. The younger generations will less and less and less own homes. They are less property owners. If you don't own homes or property, you will not have a thing to call your own that can't be taken. See, we're in the, like right now, even my life, I'm in the rental class. This is where they want us, is the rental class. If you own something, you can't fall back on them and you don't need them. You can effectively take off, even if you live in a shitty life in a dump somewhere. If you have a piece of land and the know-how, you can get off from working, not deal with them, build your own life. Why don't you buy a house? I don't know. Why didn't we?
Because we've never had the money for a down.
Oh, yeah. We never had the money for a down payment. See, our credit for the first time you have to understand, this is what I was talking about earlier. Every single time that there was a possibility of gain, there was a crisis of some time. So your credit score would go up and then drop dramatically. Then it would go up, drop dramatically. And it coincided with crisis after crisis after crisis. Now it's 2026. I've been through like 9 once-in-a-lifetime scenarios. All of them bad, not good. Not any like second coming of Christ or anything like that. We're talking all of them being a detriment to some capacity. And you say, well, all as I need is land. Well, I've been, my opinion, cursed off and on for quite some time. No, you're good. So like, my family must have spent, what, $100,000 repairing dumpy cars instead of just buying a fucking new car once. My family, they have a house, but they built it in the 60s. My grandmother is 96. She's bequeathed the house value to 3 children. So nobody's going to get to keep the house. All the children, the boomers, they're going to get the value of the house cut in 3. Well, that means you're going to lose the house, is what that is. So that base point of life is now going to be removed peacefully, don't get me wrong, and it affords the opportunity for others, but my mother will probably be 65 at the time, or older. 65 now, yeah. So, and what are you going to do? Buy a house and then pay on it 30 more years? 20 more? I mean, what the fuck? You know what I mean? There has to be a decline in prices. I don't care how rich, greedy, whatever it is. If you don't have a decline in prices, a deflation across the board of at least 40% over a period of the next 5 years or so, your country will resemble something you'll never see again. You will be dependent. You will be unable to do your own bidding. You will be watched, surveilled, monitored 24 hours a day from government sources. You will be unable to find work. Everything will be done through AI, quantum computing, data reading, emotional recognition, facial recognition. You know what I'm saying? Not just facial recognition, emotional recognition, surge pricing at the grocery store. What? all this, kind of diarrhea that we're dealing with here. Say, I don't want to live in a world like that. I want the technology to some point, but you're not using the technology for good. You're using it only for profit. And it's like something's got to give here. Right? Something's got to give here. So you either have to innovate more, make it cheaper. You got to quit dry humping the profit. You're ruining the world. And nobody's interested in having that conversation. Because if you have the conversation, they call you either a right-wing conservative or a socialist. There's no in-between for that conversation because people have shit for brains. Absolute poop in the head. And they don't want to have the conversation about evolving the government or merging different types of economics. They want to just have poop in their head. And what that'll mean is for the next 200 or so years, you're going to be living in this technocratic, non-free economy, if you want to call it that. It's going to be run by tech billionaire overlords that will have a digital dossier run by quantum computing that'll shame people, that'll ban people, that'll force you to use their digital marketplaces and their platforms to buy, sell, and trade. You'll have to use Facebook. You'll have to use whatever TikTok shop, whatever's coming up. And it's exclusive to this, that, or the other. And you'll have to have loyalty. And if you don't play ball, they'll just ban you. And the digital world will control your means of money making because obviously the means of production will no longer exist at all in the United States. You say, well, no, we have Trump to fix that. No, that's not going to be fixed under Donald Trump. That's not going to be fixed under Donald Trump. You're not going to have small business return with Donald Trump. He's put all in for AI. So you're not going to have small business come back. You're not going to have Hollywood video or family video. You're not going to have malls returning. You're not going to have individualism. And you say, well, no, I was MAGA, though. I didn't vote for that. Yeah, well, that's what it became, though. That's what it became. That's what it became with like the Palantir negotiations and the Palantir surveillance contracts and all this other stupid crap. You say, well, I don't like that. I wanted what Donald Trump was offering. But what Donald Trump was offering was not able to be done here. None. It can't be done. Because there are, first of all, the Democrats are not the same as the Democrats. The Republicans are not the same as the Republicans. So when you, for instance, I'll just go through both of them. If you look at the Democrats, like the Jon Stewart Democrat went bye-bye a long time ago. The Bill Maher Democrat, nope, sayonara. Those people are considered right-wing conservatives now. Right? Stephen Colbert, the spokesman for the hard progressives on TV, he was the second run. He was a pile of shit compared to Jon Stewart. But they branded Jon Stewart a right-wing conservative in some capacity. Same with Bill Maher because they dared to speak out against the push of hard progressivism. Well, what do you mean by progressivism? Tenets of communism. That's what I mean by that. Well, that's actually good. It's not because it's an antiquated shitbox. See, that's the whole thing. Is the communist crap is diarrhea because it was an industrial revolution style of economics, and that's stupid. That doesn't hold any water or weight here in 2026. So to continue to dry hump that is a ridiculous, what do you call insanity, doing the same shit over and over, expecting different results? Because they're probably shooting a bunch of people. So not the Democrats, the hard progressives will say, let's just try socialism or communism. You'll keep doing it, doing it, doing it, doing it. They'll always have the same results because the economic system is antiquated. It cannot handle the modern world. It does not understand the basics of a free market society because a free market did not fully exist back then except for a couple places like America. America is not even a free market anymore. None of these places are. So you're trying to install a free market economic system into a country and a Western world that is not a free market system. Then you say, well, what about China? They're communists. They're communists in name only. They're Sinos, which is funny, just a different way. They're communist when it comes to ideology, but they're mercantile at their very core. So they're a mix of mercantile communists. And so even your communism that you fall back on is not communism, right? It doesn't function. Paleo-conservative, not bad. It doesn't work so well with that. So why don't these socialism, communism, Marxism, capitalism, why are these systems starting to fail, you might ask? You say, well, these systems have always worked in the past. It's because you're getting into a world where the human factor is no longer relevant. You're no longer relevant. You say, well, no, what do you mean? What do you mean? I'm a worker. Yeah, you're a worker. They've determined you're irrelevant, that they don't need you. They're trying to get rid of you by force, by robotics. It's already happening. And I got news, it's going to happen even faster. Now, they'll say it will give you free time to excel yourself and all this other crap, but you can't do it without money. And they're not going to give you money even if all your jobs are lost. Now, they'll try to sell you on it, universal basic income, it's coming, blah, blah, blah. But they won't actually give it to you. You're not going to have a card with credits to go buy boba tea and shit. No, they're going to have it prepared for you what you will obtain. You'll obtain a box to live in. You'll be renting objects, including vehicles, scooters, time in your own location that you live in. Maybe it could be utilized for somebody else while you're working. Wait a minute, there's no work. Bettering yourself. I'm sorry. By basically scanning things and doing research for your own good, that the AI will learn off of you and then utilize that as well, right? And that's basically the capital at the point. So I think that life is very mundane, non-progressive, and is not something very dystopian, like a dystopian cyberpunk, like a mix of like a surveillance state with a failing infrastructure world that's kind of antiquated, that you still have to live in, that they allow you to have, I should say. And some of you will excel because of what you do with those robotics and data, what you search, what you promote. For instance, if you're an influencer, I mean, it's already happening. If you see it on TikTok, for instance, every right-wing person is banned and every left-wing person has 6,000 people watching them. Well, that's not an accident. You say, well, no, that's not an accident. That's one person group being promoted and the other being demoted on purpose when it's supposed to be a field of ideas. Well, why is that? Because they've determined your field of ideas is racist bigotry. Now, every liberal will say all conservatism is racism, but that's ridiculous nonsense, and we all know that. That's a talking point to make sure you demonize somebody so that they'll lose elections. And I know why you do it. It's a tactic called mudslinging. It's what Republicans do to you as well. But they do shit to you and they accuse you of other things that you don't think about, basically. Frankly, the left can't mean. But then you have instances like today with Congressman Eric Swalwell, who he's gone from Congress now. And then there's also, he's gone from the California governor's race. This guy was initially accused of sexual misconduct with one woman. And she was shit-faced, so a lot of us thought it was just kind of fishy. Then 3 more women came out and said that he was trying to rape them. Then another one came out today, so that's a 5th, saying he choked her and drugged her and fucked her. So now this last woman's saying he's a Bill Cosby. So then you also have Representative Tony Gonzalez, Republican of Texas. He stepped down for cheating on his wife with a staffer, fucking her behind her back. So we had a Democrat step down and a Republican step down, both from banging somebody they shouldn't have. That's basically what we're looking at. See, I figured they were both either Republicans or Democrats. I just now found out one was each. So just what I figured. Very silent. Mm-hmm. Normally you talk. You're just kind of like, man, you're like nonchalant and shit. No, you're just done. Mm-hmm. Anyway, but that's the 2 big news stories. Israel raided in Lebanon, killed 3 people, and airstrikes in Gaza City as well as southern Lebanon. Hezbollah rejected a U.S. brokered Israel-Lebanon talks as futile. I don't know why you would talk to Hezbollah. I mean, what's wrong with you? Hezbollah's garbage. Destroy them. I'm sorry, but fuck Hezbollah. You know what? I'm done pretending like these are real people to negotiate with. This would be like negotiating with the Bloods or the Crips. You know, we're not doing this. Hezbollah, Hamas, Islamic Jihad, Boko Haram, Al-Shabaab, Al-Qaeda, ISIS. All of you assholes need to die. Fuck you. Frankly speaking, the Houthi, like you're terrorists. You're only there to use the death of innocent people as leverage to just get stuff. Fuck you, right? I'm sorry, but anyone gotten an Amber Alert? Yeah, that's true. I have not gotten an Amber Alert in a long time. Yeah, that is true. That damn, yeah, and there's a lot of people going missing too. Yeah, that's true. So, U.S. politics, I just told you about Eric Swalwell and Tony Gonzalez. Then we have a high-profile feud erupting between Donald Trump and Pope Leo. Now, everybody's up in arms about the Donald Trump Jesus picture. I'm not going to entertain that argument because that's stupid. If you believe in free speech, you'll do whatever. If you want to have an AI of Donald Trump kicking a puppy, go for it. Who cares? Right? I mean, it's nonsense. I've been on TikTok. I was making videos over there all day long. Liberals that don't give a shit about Jesus. Liberals that hate Christianity. Had the picture of Donald Trump up there being like, isn't this offensive? It's terrible. Like, you're an atheist. Why do you care? Well, it's offensive. It's like, dude, you're an atheist. You were mocking Christianity 2 days ago. Now I'm watching a live stream with you, the same person, this up here claiming offense about offending Christians. What? Like, what disingenuous horse crap? Am I right? Disingenuous horse crap. Anyway, so we got a feud with the Catholic Church, apparently. That's wonderful. International news, obviously, Prime Minister Orban lost to Peter Magyar. First time in 16 years. Domestic and crime news here in the United States. A 16-year-old stepbrother of an 18-year-old Anna Kepner, whose body was found hidden under a cruise ship bed, has been charged as an adult with her murder and sexual assault. There we go. A husband of an American woman missing in the Bahamas was released from custody today. And severe weather reports, including multiple tornadoes across the United States. No rain here! Fuckface. The S&P 500 and the Dow markets rose. Who cares? Amazon signed an $11.5 billion deal for satellite firm Globestar to challenge SpaceX. That's wonderful with the dick measuring there. My package of cactus candy was a fucking week late because Amazon couldn't get their head out of their ass. So now I have prickly pear cactus candy that's old and nasty, not nasty, but melted and isn't as good because Amazon wanted it to sit in a hot truck for a week and kick the can down the road because of ineptitude. What a surprise. And so while these people are making $12 billion deals, they are getting worse and worse. They do not care. And this is the problem. I have been having issues. Did fake news forget the government is still closed? Who cares? The government, first of all, is only partially closed. Second of all, it's not up to the government funding in order to make moves. The government can do it anyway and circumvent it. They don't have to do it. They basically use a series of IOUs, and I can't remember the name of it, but they can do a bunch of stuff fiscally. They just don't want to because they make political theater out of it, just so you know. That's why every 9 months there's going to be a government shutdown for fucking ever and ever because that drums up 2 weeks of, oh, and then we can do something during those 2 weeks that ruin the American experience. And then once that's all said and done, whoo, we avoided that government shutdown by allowing pesticides in the food. Because they always tack something onto it. That's why they do this. So they'll say like the last one, government's about to shut down, we better make CBD illegal. It's like, what the fuck does that have to do with the price of eggs in China? You're going to make CBD illegal to open the government? Yeah, that makes sense. It's like, that doesn't, like, first of all, you're never going to legislate me stopping weed usage. I don't care if you declare it the death penalty. I will be smoking a blunt while you're about to hang me. Fuck you. I don't care where I'm at, where I live. It is not your prerogative to tell me what to do. Speaking of which, can you roll it or smoke another joint? I'll roll another one if I have to. Come on, you're low energy tonight.
No,
I used to feed off you.
I didn't.
Somewhat. You were, I'm not going to say I hate Howard Stern. So you're my Robin to Howard Stern, but Howard Stern sucks. Good Lord. Damn, look at that ass. Jesus. Anyway, so, oh, hey, what's up, America? How you doing, my friend? I'm just sitting here. So I really, like, I don't know, man. I'm not going to quit smoking weed ever. Like, there's no amount of punishment that I'll ever I don't care. I know Jesus probably wants me to not smoke so much, but, you know, I don't drink. So, you know, I'll get rid of every other vice and just keep this if it's fine. But I'm sick of the government telling me what to do. Because that's all I've ever lived. It's my whole life. The government telling me what to do. Let me see your lighter real quick. Just going out in the world. It's nothing but the government telling you what to do. Stop at this light. Don't turn at this stop sign. Don't turn at this light. Go this speed. Watch for this. Slow down. Pull over. Make your life slower. Drive a car, but not too fast. Your car goes to 160 miles an hour, but you're not going more than 40, pal. You quick start. You didn't brake good enough. You didn't use your light. Where's your license plate light? It's micromanaged garbage. You're living in a world of micromanagement. Is that where the founding fathers envisioned this country? To be micromanaged by every fucking prosecutorial group in the entire world? Is that where they manage? Is that what you want? Where you have cameras watching your every move? For crimes like smoking weed. So you're sitting there smoking a joint by a camera. Then a cop comes, oh, you're smoking a joint in public. First of all, it's weed. Shut up. I'll do whatever I want. Second of all, You wouldn't know I was smoking a joint in public if you weren't fucking watching me like a creep. And that's what I akin this all to. And I don't know why people don't see this. When you have license plate reading cameras everywhere, facial recognition technology, all this shit, I kind of think you're the equivalent of a guy spying in a window and jacking off. That's what I akin that to. So the government, we're spying on him. We're watching his every move. It makes me think you're like looking in the window and then jacking off when I'm taking a shower. It's got those vibes to it. Right? Like creepy, fucking peeping Tom and shit. So, and my second question, why do you want to know so much? Well, we want to know more about you so we can stop crime. I don't want to tell you anything. I don't want to be a part of your shit. I don't think you're doing it to really, oh yeah, you're stopping crime, but the crimes, some of, like the ones you showcase on television are the horrible crimes. But a lot of other things, I saw you turn right on a red light, we're sending you a ticket. It's like, go fuck yourself. No, I could believe that, absolutely. But that's the thing. Why do you want to know so much? It makes me want to have an EMP go off and destroy everything electronic so that nothing is available for a record to be pulled up or any other thing like that. And it's like, well, if you're not being surveilled, then you're not safe. What's up, Hard? How you doing? I would rather be less safe and not surveilled. Let me be very clear on this. I would rather people get away with crimes than you watch me 24 hours a day by the government monitoring everything. I would rather you I would rather somebody get away with murder than fucking everybody be micromanaged by the United States. I've made a couple of videos on TikTok. By the way, I read my bank rate article. It's got a thing in there. On the bank rate article, it has my name. Well, it has part of it, yeah. It's published, yeah.
Did she message it to you on TikTok?
Yeah, I just looked it up. Yeah, I was in an article on bank rate. That's on, what was it? Bankrate.com. It's about digital tags. Yeah. I love you. Oh, man. What are you guys doing? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I have a Bankrate article. That was fun. I talked to that reporter for about a half hour. She was nice. I finally got to see what she looks like. She was on the... Oh, no, we looked it up, didn't we?
Yeah.
Okay, so I seen her twice. I said, well, it looked different. She looked different. It looked different. So far, I've been on the radio, and I've done a Bankrate article. So that's not bad. We could do more, but we need to do the news here. Chinese tank. Now, here's the fucked up thing. We're having a discrepancy in the news. We have the regular media, or the mainstream media, saying that Chinese tankers ran the blockade. The right-wing media is saying that Chinese tankers turned back from the blockade. Others passed the Straits of Hormuz safely. Rand Paul says there's no evidence Iran was an imminent threat. And Pakistan is preparing more talks with the United States and Iran. Jimmy Kimmel ignores Eric Swalwell's scandal. That's becoming a scandal in itself. Launches after disgraced Democrat launched a California GOP governor campaign on his ABC show. Trump performs cut legal immigration. What? Trump reforms cut legal immigration by 50%. See, I don't want legal immigration cut. I want illegal immigration cut. That's ridiculous. And so 12 years ago, there was a bunch of girls that were stolen by Boko Haram in Africa. 80 are still missing. And Nigeria is being declared a dangerous nation. Virginia Governor Spanberger says that she supports the Second Amendment. I don't know about that. And Disney begins mass layoffs because nobody is watching their crap. What's up, Dave? I used to like Disney movies with the family. We'd go out. We've seen Frozen, Frozen 2. What did we see? Turbo. We saw fucking like 50 kids movies. Tangled. Everything. We saw everything from Frozen all the way to Paddington 2 and The Secret Life of Pets 2.
And Inside Out.
Inside Out 2. We saw all those movies, and then there was just the great entertainment flop. And I got to tell you right now, we are in an entertainment flop. It is absolute. There's been a couple of shows I've watched with my kids, or some of them that have been okay. One was Umbrella Academy, which the last season was a piece of shit. And it was very heavy on the trans influence because, what's the person's name from Juno? You know what I'm talking about. They were getting a transition during the middle of the program. So that happened. So that was an okay show. There was Stranger Things, which the 4th season was diarrhea.
The main name starts with an E.
Elliot Page.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Stranger Things, I think AI wrote the last season, not gonna lie. I've seen the whole thing. What diarrhea? There was a show that was called Sweet Tooth. That was okay for a while. That was on Netflix. And then there's Wednesday, which was a great series. I haven't seen the second part of that, though. I only saw the first season, and my kid watched it, and then she won't let me watch it with her because she lied to me. The last season, what, of Sweet Tooth? Yeah, that's what my kid said. My youngest kid watched only 4 episodes and said it was garbage. Oh, Stranger Things was terrible. Oh my God. So like, straight up, if you've ever watched Stranger Things, what's wrong?
Must have been the neighbor segment.
Oh. So if you've ever watched Stranger Things, like the first 3 seasons, fine. Everything was good. The kid was trapped in the fucking upside down. Then there was the coming together, and then there was the creepy doctor one. Then there was the California guys. That one dude, Argyle, he was cool. And then whatever that last season was, what garbage. Then the last episode, I don't care if I spoil it for you. The last episode, they finished the last episode was basically a middle climax with a trail off, an anticlimactic. It was garbage. So 30 minutes into the last episode of a 2-hour series, or 2-hour thing, whatever, they kill the bad guy, fix everything, yay, we win. Okay? We got an hour and a half left. What are we doing? Well, we're going through backstory. We're going through future. They've aged. They're meeting. They're talking about things. They're reaffirming their friendships. Relationships didn't work out. They wish they had. Oh my God, 11 is dead. But maybe when we're at the end of the show playing Dungeons and Dragons, maybe there's a possibility she could have lived. Even though we obviously know she didn't. She's fucking dead as shit, obviously. There's nothing left of her. She sacrificed herself. She did the whole, Jesus thing there at the end to save her friends. Which even more messed up as she dies to save her sorry ass. And the military that's holding all of her friends hostage, 11 died. So they just lower their weapons and let them go. These people murdered two dozen U.S. servicemen? So you're telling me Hopper and a bunch of kids murder 24 servicemen, and you're just going to let these people walk away and become a sheriff at the end? You got to be out of your goddamn minds, okay? Then it's just a fucking tug fest. The whole thing, just a tug fest. Then it ends anticlimactic. Did 11 end? Oh, I don't know. But as the gay kid is leaving the stairs there and leaving, he's looking down, and there's another generation that's younger that all is representative of him. The girl, and then the two boys, and then the black kid, right? So they're all there. The only difference is there's not a sorcerer with them. So their lifestyle's not going to be near as cool as these people. And some people were like, well, they focused too much on the sexuality aspect. Whether it was about sexuality or not is irrelevant to me. What it's about is, why did you focus on a relationship on an episode, on a show that was based on MK Ultra? So you literally have the world at your fingertips. You have an entire series based on the happenings of MK Ultra with the CIA, and you end in a love story. I feel absolutely violated. I feel violated, betrayed for what you've done for that. And why? Why would I feel betrayed for it? Because it was the only show. Drew Gooden talked about this here on YouTube. Go check out Drew Gooden's video. I know I'm not near as big, but The Simpsons was okay the first 300 episodes or so. Gatlin's performing. Hi. Gatlin, how you doing? Oh my God. Anyway, but so why was it a problem? Because this, in my opinion, the reason I'm talking about Stranger Things is the death of Hollywood. There was a Reddit post that showed an image of a screenshot of the laptop of one of the writers of Stranger Things on ChatGPT while they were writing the last season. So they're sitting there at a meeting or a production, whatever the fuck it is. And the dude's got the laptop just like, oh, hey, like this. And it's cocked and it's got ChatGPT. Well, he's not fucking looking for talking points for his friends. Most people say, well, that's why the season looked like diarrhea. Now, some people say, well, the season will grow on me. No, it won't. It's trash. Then there could have been more. But what did they do? They made an animated series of Stranger Things and then fucked off with the live action stuff. Unacceptable. All the worst moves you could possibly do were all wrapped up into one show. Take it easy, Dave. And that's what it is. And so now we have New Girl, which my kid is watching some. We've watched BoJack Horseman. I recommend watching BoJack Horseman. The first season's a little slow, but it gets into it. And then the last season is as deep as a fucking ocean. It is like some shit now. You want to watch BoJack Horseman. Then there's, what was the other stuff we watched? There was a Community. That's always funny. Yeah, BoJack's funny, but at the end of seasons, it's like his mom dies and he like gives a eulogy where he doesn't give a shit about her. And like the dad's a fuck up, but he's dead. And like there's like a whole rehab thing. And then he was with the child star that he befriended. And then she overdoses on heroin at Griffith Observatory on a heroin called BoJack. And then he's found like financially liable for like $4 million for the death of his child star friend because he was on a sitcom in the 80s called Horsin' Around. Oh my God. And it's dark as shit. Like as soon as like the first 3 or 4 seasons are okay. Then it gets dark as shit. Right? And it is like, damn. And he like steps into death and this whole thing. Anyway, am I right?
I've never seen it.
No, Emily.
Oh, I
I didn't watch it either.
You didn't watch it?
No.
Really?
Yeah, you guys watched it.
Oh, I thought you were there.
No.
She was there. She was probably just.
Oh, just okay. Anyway, so that's BoJack Horseman. But then there's Community, which is a good show as well. My wife watches a lot of crime shows.
Only true.
Only true crime.
I don't like the reenactment shit.
Horror is your favorite genre. That's my kids. Well, I don't know about you.
I don't know.
Do you like horror?
I like a mix.
Like a mix. And my oldest kid's favorite is Chucky, is Child's Play. You like all the Saws. You just
And Final Destination.
and Final Destination. You
And
ju-
Saw.
yeah, you like Saws and Final
And
Destinations.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
And Five Nights at Freddy's movies. And Willy's Wonderland. Oh, I got it. Hell yeah.
And Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh, Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
And Cocaine Bear.
And Cocaine Bear. And
They're good.
you haven't seen Evil Dead, though.
No, I haven't.
Evil Dead and Armies of Darkness. Armies of Darkness is actually hilarious until you've seen it 34 times. We used to smoke weed and watch Armies of Darkness. All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up. He's great. Don't forget to shop S-Mart. You got that? Now the next one of you primates even fucking touches me. That is 100% right. Nothing like him. Wonder if he's still alive. Yeah, he's still alive. 7-Eleven to close 645 stores in the United States. I told you about Disney doing mass layoffs. Conflict has not resumed in the in Iran yet. Eric Swalwell's accuser says that he raped and choked her. She thought she died. And Hakeem Jeffries refuses to say if he pushed Swalwell to resign. I bet he did. It's not going to cost the Democrats very much, though. I can promise you that. The news is very light today. I know there's like esoteric news. He said, she said bullshit. I don't declare that really news. Divorced Republican proposes to 21-year-old as he launches a bid to return to Congress after a gay sex tape scandal destroyed his career. It's 2026. Why would that I guess he's coming back in 2026. I was like, why would it destroy your career now? I think the world is just a sex tape at this point. Outrage over woke councilman blasting swanky new affordable Brooklyn restaurant. I like food in New York City. I'm not going to lie. Some of the best food. There was a diner on 70-something Street up there. That was great. There was Wohop, which was a disappointment last time. I'm not even sure if the first time it was really that good or if we were just liking it because it was something different. We gave it a pass.
And we were just hungry.
I think we should try a better Chinese place next time we're in New York. But I like Pizza Town in New York City at like 46th and 6th. Is something like that around that area. I know everybody says it's consistently good. All right. Gracie's, yeah, I think that's what it is. Yeah, it's a diner. It's got like little mosaic floors. I dropped a potato on it, and the waitress almost... Or it was an onion or something. I got the pot pie there. It was fucking amazing shit. Yeah, that's a great place. I love going there. We initially went to another place. Me and my wife and kids sat down. We looked at it, and I was like, I don't want to eat here. We looked at the menu. I was like, I don't want anything. So what I did was I told them, hey, everybody stand up. And the waiter came up and I said, oh, I'm sorry. I got an emergency call. I've got to go. And we all got up and left. I had the phone up to my ear and we walked out and just left. Because I didn't want to be one of those people that started up the process. And then I didn't want the food, but then I'm forced to buy something I don't actually want. And then we left and we went around the corner and, hey, there's Gracie's Diner. And we went in there and, hey, that was fantastic. So I'm very glad I pretended to take a call that did not ring, by the way. I guess I didn't think about that till just now. It did not ring. So
They don't know you didn't have it on vibrate.
Oh, yeah, it's modern times. It
Yeah.
doesn't just ring loud, does
Yeah.
it? Yeah, okay, so there you go. I'd love to go there at least once. It's great. I've been there like 6 or 7 times. New York City's a fantastic place. I know, Nana, it's like there's got to be a way to get you out there. Don't go to Delaware, though. Delaware sucks. I've been to Delaware. I did not care for Delaware. I liked Maryland only because I disliked Delaware so much. Like, Ocean City was okay. I don't know why we drive so much. It's kind of something I've just always done. It's one of the, I went into Ray Booth Beach and I was looking for a parking spot. We found a parking spot, went over the hill, and it was just wall-to-wall people. I'm like, nope. So we get back in the car, and as we're getting back in the car, the time changed for cars to be parked. So it hit 4 o'clock, and there was a squadron of police so at 4:01, they were towing fucking cars. I'm like, screw this. Like, that is absolutely terrible, and I don't like any of that. Hi, I'm in Delaware. That's exactly the vibes I got. Went down to Ocean City, Maryland. There's like veterans, there's like military, there's like people at the beaches, and it was great. I was like, there we go. So that's what we're doing there. So Guy Fieri hangs out with accused rapist Andrew Tate. Iran secretly confesses to having enough nuclear material to make 11 nuclear bombs. Because now it's, I always thought Andrew Tate was I know he's got money. Didn't that dude like rape a bunch of girls or something? Isn't that what we're doing here? Right? Isn't that what happened to Andrew Tate there? Like he treated women like dogs or some shit. I don't know what it is. Fame and fortune, ladies and gentlemen. 15% ethanol. I have not. Yes, because it was only 10%, wasn't it? Yes. See, I haven't been because it's TikTok, I've been doing a lot of light garbage. So when I do, even the TikTok videos I make, even if I'm like, well, I'm not going to put too much opinion out there because they'll just ban it. So I've been sticking to the news stories. And even when I do the news stories, they still come after some of them because they're like, well, that's not real. I'm like, well, it's on 3 different news channels. Well, we don't like it. And I'm like, okay, well, so what I need to do is I need to start doing the videos I want to do over here on YouTube and just kind of say fuck TikTok with. I'm going to keep doing the archaeology stuff. I want to do that. I could see that definitely. I'm going to put the videos out there every day and stuff, but I had this big wave of doing it with all this social media crap. And they're just out of control. I wish I would have, the time I spent on TikTok, growing 150,000, then 330,000 people, 80,000, 30,000, another 70, whatever here. I wish I hadn't done it over there. I wish I would have just stuck with YouTube. Because it's they're hardly getting any views. Nobody sees them. And it's like, well, why is that? Well, between now and the midterms, that's so they're suppressing everybody. Well, they don't of course they suppress that stuff. They've been doing it for a long time. And, well, why do they suppress? Because they don't know people's backgrounds. They always think so I read the news. Granted, to a foul-mouthed spin. But then all the social media companies believe that even the way I talk, that I'm some hard Nazi or something. When I'm sitting here making fun of everybody politically. But then they're like, well, you're a right-wing, but I'm like, no, you don't actually know me. You've never gotten the chance to ever ask or find out. You just assume because I yell and I make fun of both sides. So if I make fun of the conservatives, for you, that's just par for the course. But then if I make fun of liberals, it's like I'm an apostate. It's like, no, I'm allowed to make fun of both of you. We don't want that. Well, you're supposed to allow that, though. You know what I'm saying? Well, thank you, my friend. It's like you're supposed to allow that. Like, if I want to take it, like, okay, so Eric Swalwell. Like, are we just supposed to look away from that? That's big news. He's a Democrat, but they're saying he's a rapist now. So am I supposed to pretend that doesn't exist? And then talk about Trump with the Jesus picture? Because comparatively speaking, the Trump with the Jesus picture is basically irrelevant compared to a public figure that's a rapist. Believe all women, right? So, what, am I not allowed to talk about this? Is that what we're doing here? Like, because I would think that that would be important news. Or is it because of who it is? So if it's this guy, we got to keep it under wraps. But if it's this guy, then we got to put it out. So Trump makes a picture looking like Jesus. We all make fun of him. But Eric Swalwell's a rapist. We better hide that. Is that what we're doing? See, that's what the problem with the news is it's cherry picking. It's cherry picking news stories because you don't want to offend based politically. And that's the problem. We're supposed to offend everybody politically because every side politically might do something stupid. Right? Oh, trust me, yeah. And so it's like, I want to be able to mock conservatives as much as I can mock liberals. I can mock conservatives all day. The problem is I can't mock liberals. And you're supposed to say, I'm fine with that. Take a joke. Learn to have a tougher skin. I don't know what to tell you, but we're supposed to open this. You know, but we're not doing it. We're supposed to talk about him. Well, I don't want to. I don't know, man. I don't know what to say about it. What would you do? Like, if you're living in this political environment, what would you say? E15 or unleaded 88 is gas that contains 15% ethanol, typically saves 5 to 10 cents. It's authorized for use in light-duty vehicles, 2001 and newer. Having slightly less energy, it often provides better value. E15 you can't use in motorcycles, boats, or snowmobiles or small engine. They do it because it emits fewer greenhouse gases. EPA issued a waiver for allowing its year-round sale to combat high fuel prices. Oh, that's fun. EPA fortifies domestic fuel supply, provides Americans with E15 as of May 1st, 2026. Oh, come on, bro. That sucks. That's fucking... Yeah, it burns faster, so you're going to get less gas mileage and buy more at $3.88 a gallon instead of $4.10. So listen to this. So the state of Indiana... So the governor, Mike Braun, increased sales taxes on gas 15 or 17 cents. Then Mike Braun suspends the gas tax that he created of 17 cents a gallon. Then the news comes out and says, well, gas prices are down 17 cents, but they may go up because that expires in a month. So the news is covering for the governor, just getting rid of a tax he put on the gas himself and still only suspending it for 30 days because it pays for the roads. By the way, they're going to put a toll road on I-70 going through Indiana. So if you're a trucking company, do everything you can to stay off I-70. Do not pay that because the governor says we're not going to legalize weed to cover the costs. We're going to put toll roads on people and gas taxes and wheel taxes and all the taxes. And then the governor has the balls to come out and say, well, Indiana's a low tax state. Yeah, you see, that's the thing. It's a low tax state, but you have more taxes than other states. So you're not a low tax state. You're a more tax state. So if I say, well, California charges 10 taxes at 11%, but then you're Indiana and you charge 30 taxes at 7%. Well, you see, you're actually paying more. Well, it's low tax state, but it's a more tax state. You see, you're a douchebag. You're confusing low taxes, but having a whole bunch of them rather than just having 5 higher taxes. You have 13 lower taxes. Well, that actually costs more. Well, we're a Republican state, but you're charging more because you're a fucking douchebag. See how that is? What you need to do is legalize weed because that... What's up, America? How you doing, bees? You need to legalize weed because it increases personal freedom and also feeds the tax system so you don't need a toll road like a douchebag. See how that works? I understand you're going into D.C., there's a toll. You're going into New York, Chicago, that's just par for the course. Dan Ryan's usually had a, you know what I mean, the Beltway, all that shit. But when it comes to just traveling through a state, fuck you. You piddly douchebag. Because the Republicans do not want weed legal in Indiana because Eli Lilly owns the shit. They own all the patents. And so you can literally buy all weed around all the other states than here. And the governor of Indiana says, well, probably half the state's illegally smoking it anyway. You think? Well, why don't you legalize it? Well, the Republicans are entrenched. Well, then vote them out of office. Well, if you vote them out of office, that's a vote for Kamala Harris. No, it's not. It's a vote to get rid of these douchebags that are taking your personal freedoms away. Fuck you. That's why I say I don't care what the legalities are. I will never quit smoking weed because you tell me to. Fuck you. I don't care what consequence. 60 days, fuck you. No, I am not listening to you. You are irrelevant. Your law is irrelevant to me. You keep telling me it's illegal, yet I go to every state around me and I can purchase it. So what do we call one state where it's illegal, but 4 states around it that's legal? What do we call that? Do we call the state that makes it illegal as wrong? Wrong side of history? Kind of like one of those states that kept slavery legal when the rest of the country said no. You know, like one of that type of thing. Like, what are you doing here? If we have so much gas in our country, why do we have to cut our gas? Exactly. Oh, Australia already said they're worried about their pumps running out. Their pumps are running out. They're going to have that. And it's like, because this is all made up horse shit. And it's a globalist push for a world system. And it's been that way. And they're taking everything to a couple of global superpowers. You're either going to buy Russian oil, Chinese shit, or American resources. And that's it. The globe is ours. And they're going to have a trilateral or quadrilateral, if you want to put in the global south, into that. And they want to get rid of borders. They want to spread the money around. They want a redistribution of wealth because they believe that in the past there's a racist narrative that can only be undone by cash. And it's not. That's not what it is. It's supposed to be a natural, so like the end of racism, the end of sexism, the end of all this bullshit. It's supposed to be a natural push forward. And you were seeing that in the 90s and the 2000s and low-key the 80s. But they said it wasn't fast enough, so they wanted to do this. And all this is doing is making poverty, technocratic rule by the elite, and resented. What do you call it? Resentment. Resentism. Resentment. And so when I see these things, I say, well, like by now, if you hadn't pushed it so hard and failed the world, we probably could have had an end of all this already. but you sowed discord, you sowed resentment. And so now you have racist groups like the Patriot Front coming up again. The Klan is still not declared a terrorist organization. I don't know what that is. Like, I thought is the Klan declared a terrorist organization yet? I thought you were like rounding up the leaders of that. Guess we're not doing that. Okay. Same with like the neo-Nazis. Like, and that's where the difference is. Like, making fun of Nazis or spreading their ridiculous, stupid propaganda. Same with the Klan. That's just something to make fun of online. Like, nobody really takes that seriously, right? But now they're starting to, because you tried to hide stupid people from posting jokes about it. So, anyway, think about my kids and my grandbaby's future. Yeah, see, exactly. You say, well, what's going to happen with Iran? We'd like peace. I just think Trump's going to stop short with it. I think Trump's going to stop short with the Iran thing. I don't think it's total victory. I'm calling his bluff. Saudi Arabia pressures Trump to scale back the war. HBO flagship show scores only 356,000 live viewers. Yikes. I've had half that on the live stream here. Jesus God. Wall Street banks break record profits. So I made a video about this earlier on TikTok. By the way, banks and oil companies are making record profit. So you know how your oil prices went up? Well, that was a record again. And banks are making record profit on fees. It's a never-ending story to dry hump the banks and the oil companies. It's like George W. Bush all over again. So I'm going to call it George W. Trump. George W. Trump is making that money for those oil companies and banks. Sup, George W. Trump? Yeah, I didn't know we went back to 2005. What are we doing here? 2007? You know, that is an absolute embarrassment. Robots capture Russian army position for the first time in history. Robots claim they attacked the Ukraine claims that robots attacked a Russian position and captured and occupied the territory for the first time in history. Canada's Mark Carney wins a majority. He also spent 540,000 Canadian dollars, or 18 American dollars. Sorry, and food, airplane food, airplane catering. So Jesus Christ. It's also Zohran Mamdani still maintains that New York City will have a city-run grocery store in every borough. I would like to see that happen. I don't know if it's going to be possible with the greed of not only the billionaires, but also humanity itself. I don't think people are ready. I think they will. Yeah, thing is about Canada's free healthcare, like, you need an American system of healthcare with free like Canada has. So, or very reduced cost. But you also have, so like, in my opinion, Canada lacks the resources to treat everybody. So they like to push euthanasia, which is fine if you want to give people that option, which I think is kind of fucked up, but oh well. But then, like, the United States system could work without the health insurance system placed in it. But you have to have an expanding strata of doctors and nurses. You see, you say, well, you know, there were a lot of jobs gained in healthcare recently, but you need a lot of doctors, and people aren't going into the field as much. You need more doctors. You simply have to have more doctors, and like, stop being lawyers. I don't know how else to say it. Stop being lawyers. Can you please be doctors and nurses and surgeons and all that shit, please? Really, can you please do it? I would really like that. Thank you, Albania. And why is that? Because I think it's a better... I really need to dye this eyelash.
What?
This eyebrow, I need to dye it because it's too faded here. It's like I have a two-tone eyelash.
No, it's not.
Yeah, you can like I have a multicolor. Like it starts here, so it's still far enough to be equidistant, but it's very light here. See, and so I need to like, will I have angry eyes if I do it? You know me too, like all the time, and I'll be like, hey, honey, I'm going to the store. You're like, why are you mad? I'm like, what? Like I'm not mad. You look mad. I don't know. I'm getting some milk. Why are you yelling at me? Or I can get them like this where they go up, and I'm always like, hi. And I'm like a fucking psycho. I'm really angry at traffic. I want to murder someone. And I'm like a totally normal dude. Oh my fucking God, now I can't unsee it. So anyway, Secret of Bilderberg group meets once again. What is this? The Femisphere, no hookups, and men must pay. There's a growing army of female influencers are urging women to ditch romance and be more aggressive in the dating game and snare a, quote, high-value man. Well, good luck, because you're going to find about 800 guys. So unless you want to belong to some weird fucking harem, then you're going to be disappointed. So I hope you're not jealous. Men are inherently selfish. They're only interested in one thing. If you do manage to hook one in a relationship, don't be surprised if you find yourself doing all the housework and tending to his emotional desires. Okay, so right off the bat, nobody wants you to do that. I don't give a shit. I have a dishwasher. Second of all, if you're in a relationship of any kind, unless you're asexual, you will be tending to each other's emotions and sexual desires. If you believe there is no emotional attachment to sexuality, you are either one, living in a dream world, or two, you're purposely blocking it out. There is always some type of situation like that. So you try to disassociate. If you're a narcissist, you can. Otherwise, you can't. So at least until he decides he replaces you with an even more compliant band again. I ought to make it clear that they're not my personal beliefs. This is known as the Femisphere, which I've never heard of this until now. I don't know if this actually exists. This is what the Times.com is saying. So I'm reading an article. Do not hold me accountable for what the fuck this says. There are the messages you're going to hear. You'll also discover that there's a solution. Women need to harden their hearts and learn to manipulate men the same way that men have purportedly been manipulating women for millennia. Problem with that is there are men that don't manipulate you on purpose, and they are not trying to do that, but you're just believing they all do. That is a problem, because not all men are trying to fuck you. Some men are trying to be your friend. I believe personally it would be very difficult to probably have a relationship. So like, I wouldn't want my partner, right, hanging out with a bunch of men, would you? Do you want me hanging out with a bunch of women or gay dudes or none of that, right? You would be like, that's fucked up. But that's because I already have built-in jealousies, and you do too, right? And you can admit that, correct? This is saying to negate human jealousy and just manipulate people based on their gender for the gain of them and treat them as basically tease pets. While the manosphere, a loose network of male influencers who share a retrograde topic on gender roles, like fucking Andrew Tate, who's a piece of shit. Those people have grabbed headlines. The Femisphere is going under the radar, but it's a real phenomenon with trends that run through TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and podcasting, and it has a real influence on how many young women are approaching the business of dating, which is, I don't know what it is. I think that's probably non-existent. It also attracts a vicious backlash, which is why Savannah, a London-based podcaster in her early 30s, only agreed to talk to me pseudo-anonymously. This is a story that was written by The Times. Until last year, Savannah was a co-host of the Female Dating Strategy podcast, which grew out of a successful community on the discussions of Reddit. She first discovered the world of female dating strategies, FDC, in 2019, just after ending what she described as an on-again, off-again situationship.
Wouldn't female dating strategies be FDS?
Yeah.
FDC.
Oh, it was FDS.
Oh.
I'm too high and I misspoke the letter. Yes. So yes, this is Canada. It was the RBC, the National Bank, exactly. The World Bank, the RBC. Quote, it spoke to me because it was a group of women who were quite blunt about dating and it reflected my own experiences. I was like, okay, this isn't just me. Blah, 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 blah. Goes into the femisphere. Okay, so this is their basic premises here. High value woman, a woman who prioritizes self-worth standards and boundaries. Well, isn't that just like you're supposed to do? So I don't really think that's a high value woman. I think that's just what you're supposed to do. Right? So like if you were a person that like, well, I have no self-worth, I have no standards nor boundaries. Like, doesn't that mean you're just kind of a doormat? Like, stop doing that. Then there's leveling up, improving yourself. That's just what you're supposed to do. Like as you age, you're just supposed to do better shit and learn better things. So if I say, well, I'm leveling up. Yeah, you're supposed to do that. And if you get like physically unable when you get older, you're supposed to do things like learn a second language, do Sudoku better, go on travels and learn cultures and do this other type of thing. It's not like you're not proposing anything new outside of just what you're supposed to do as a man or a woman, right? Then you have cool girl, a woman who displays or downplays her need to appear easygoing to men. Like, what? Is that just not being a dick? Is that the male equivalent of not being a dick? Because like an easygoing man is not an asshole, right? So are you saying that like prioritizes being an asshole? I don't like, that's not good. Because like women can be assholes, right? Isn't that what we've determined? Dark feminine energy, having confidence, mystery, or intelligence. I don't think I would date a woman or anybody married. Like you have some confidence. You have enough confidence to yell at me when you're mad. You're mysterious because I don't know what the fuck I can do to make you happy. In some cases, and you're smart, so and control. But they're talking about like misandrist control. And you see, that's a different, like, I don't know if you should be a misandrist. That's not good. Unless your guy or whatever that you're with is into that shit. Right? So if they're like, oh, fucking kick me in the balls. Okay, well then I guess that's okay. Thank you, Nana. What the, whoa, that is creepy as shit. Oh my God. Oh my God, that's even creepier. Oh my God. They say the word seductive intelligence, using your emotional or social awareness to your advantage. That's just like doing business and living. An aura, your overall vibe. I guess that's situational. Detachment, not becoming emotionally dependent on men. I thought it was like you're supposed to like be dependent on each other. Is that not what we're doing here? So you're just supposed to be like a man and a woman to hate each other, facing the other way, but fuck occasionally. Is that what we're doing here? So I hate you. Bang, bang, bang. Get away from me. That's the weirdest shit in the world. And I think that like, so you don't want to be cuddled and held, and you don't want the man doesn't want that either, right? You just want to like how is that good? Like, aren't you supposed to like feel something? Well, a man will just, get rid of a woman. Yeah, he does, but he still feels something. He just lies about it and says he doesn't. He actually does. But then he goes and becomes an alcoholic which is worse for the next woman, and it's this whole societal breakdown. So you're just doing that without the alcohol, it seems. That's not a good look. Thank you, my friend. I would rather you drink and iron out your problems with that or weed, right? But instead we're doing this. Like, we're going to hate each other and not have emotional feelings. So that's why people are so fucked up. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just ran that girl through. You know what it is? Huh? It ain't nothing. I don't even feel anything. Well, why? Why do you not feel anything? Why do you not want to? Because if you do, you might get hurt. And so now you're detaching yourself from emotion over a potential of getting hurt. But that's what it is. Right? You can't have one without the other. Love and marriage goes together like a horse and carriage. This I tell you, brother, you can't have one without the other. Try to separate them. It's an illusion. Frank Sinatra already sang about this. And if you try, you'll come to this conclusion. Love and marriage. Right? That's why people smoke so much weed now. It really helps with the fighting. Anyway, lean back energy. Leaning other.
We fight all the time.
No, we don't fight. No, I'm just saying, like, just broadly speaking, enmity. But then you have lean back energy, letting others pursue instead of chasing. Wait, okay, hold on. Letting others pursue instead of chasing. I have never known a woman to chase a man. So letting others pursue you. I just thought that's what men generally did, and women was pursue women. Like, I've never been in a position at any point in my life where a woman has pursued me. Like, I came for you first. I put the little hearts in the arrow, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you kind of pursued me at the end there. And then you didn't want it. Then you were like, eh. After it was over, you had like that honeymoon rush, and then you were like, man, it's over. Come on, honeymoon. Honey. Moon. Artemis. My Artemis.
Oh,
Just kidding. Anyway,
fettuccine Alfredo.
you're my angel hair pasta. Yucca. Oh, that's funny. Good people. Anyway, and then strategic vulnerability. Sharing selectively to create connection. Yeah, you open up slowly, obviously. But why do you want to purposely make yourself unavailable emotionally? Is it to fuck with someone? Because that sounds like it's weird. Courtroom stunned as two women say they were raped as children by FedEx kidnapper who murdered Athena Strand. That guy's a piece of shit. The one dude that murdered the little girl that was the FedEx driver, that guy needs to be executed. I have absolutely no sympathy for that whatsoever. Have fun, bitch. Hope you don't make it. And the news of the day, that's it. Entertainment news, global conflicts, U.S. will not renew waivers on Iranian oil, and mysterious 91-year-old man arrested for murder. Whistleblowers report the incident, reports on incidents in Gaza. And there's stuff going on there as Israel's bombed Gaza and Lebanon again, and that looks like the end of the news. Kind of a light news day, so that's what it is. So here we are, all together as we sing our songs joyfully. So I guess that's it. Follow me on TikTok, Sup America and Sup America 2. Follow me here on YouTube, Sup America. Subscribe. It's free to subscribe. And a gift if you got it. And I have a Cash App and a merch store on my profile page. Or down here, right? Isn't it? Cash App and Venmo. And all that shit. So that's what it is. So don't forget to subscribe, share, like, hit the notification button. We'll be back tomorrow as always. And if you don't like me, block me and go fuck yourself. And thank you for the gifts. You guys are awesome. See you.